Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the GM. It is your guy, Belanger. Up next, the state of the Baltimore Ravens. Let's talk. When you talk about the state of anything, you're talking about its current status, its current condition. And right now, the state of the Baltimore Ravens is very, very vulnerable. It's not stable, and it's even harder to kind of predict what happens going forward, whether that's in the 2025 season or into the off season. But the Baltimore Ravens have fallen from a high perch. If the Baltimore Ravens were a hotel chain or franchise, we used to be considered the Hilton, maybe the Ritz-Carlton, the Westin. But I think our fall would be equal to coming in like the Super 8 or the Motel 6. If we were a restaurant, maybe you would take a Roof Crisp, for example. But now we're kind of like the Burger King. Now, we're still talked about at that high level. But what really kind of clued me in to the fact that our fall has been much greater than even I had analyzed or assessed was when I read a report this morning that Eric Kendricks had turned down the Baltimore Ravens' offer for employment. Now, Kendricks has been a good linebacker in this league, but he's no longer at the top or peak of his career. And the chances that he's going to get a big payday are slim. The chance that somebody's going to just be beating down his door to employ him is very slim. And so when you're unemployed and somebody offers you a job, it would just make sense that you would accept it, right? But when you turn down a job with the Ravens, where you would come in and get instant snaps, right? Because Roquan is out and everybody else is super young, it makes you realize how far the Ravens have fallen. Now, this whole video is not going to be about the fall. In fact, this whole video won't be more than 12 minutes. But I just wanted to highlight that, right? Because we don't hear a whole lot of times where guys just turn down jobs from the Baltimore Ravens. If the Ravens want them, when they come in for a workout or some type of interview or just a conversation, typically if the Ravens want them and they offer them a job, it's accepted. And if the Ravens don't want them, no deal gets done. But when a guy who's unemployed says, nah, I'm good, what does that say about us now? See, I've been saying that all the mystique of Ravens past has been rubbed off, washed away, removed. And now we're just in a place where we have to own where we are and have to just recognize that we're just seen as a regular franchise right now. Regardless of what sports commentators say, the ABCs, the NBCs, the ESPNs, and any other acronym title for a television network, regardless of what they say, I'm at a place where I'm just owning that we're not just great anymore. We're just regular. We have some great players who are mostly hurt. They're mostly hurt. But as a franchise, we hadn't done anything noteworthy. We hadn't been to no Super Bowl. We hadn't won anything. So nobody's even viewing us as a top tier anymore. See, they still talk about the Ravens from a historical context, but it's time for us to update that and talk about the Ravens from a present context. So the question of the day is, how do we get up from here? Right? Not how do we win a Super Bowl? Because right now we're not even in the playoff race, but just how do we get up? Right? How do we get off of the stench of being one of the worst defenses last season and we come into this season and underperform, and now we are one of the worst defenses or the worst defense this season? How do we move on from the idea that if Lamar Jackson doesn't save us, then we can't win? How do we get up and move on from that? I think it starts Sunday. I think it starts Sunday with whoever suits up, the randomness of that, whoever suits up, we just go out and ball. Win, lose, or draw, we just go out and ball. You see, because that's just kind of where we are. The guys we were dependent upon to ball this year, offensively, Bateman was supposed to have another step-up year. Haven't seen that just yet. Mark Andrews was supposed to catch a head start on Isaiah Likely. Haven't really seen a whole lot of that. Derrick Henry was supposed to kind of power this run game, and he has in some facets, but putting the ball on the ground has diminished that. This was supposed to be the year that Keaton Mitchell adds that extra spark to the offense. Haven't seen that yet. This was, according to Eric DaCosta of last year, when we replaced 3/5 of the offensive line. What did he say? The offensive line will be better next year, which is this season, than last season. Haven't seen that yet. And now we have to add in the injuries. When you look defensively, and I know a lot of people are hurt, but before they got hurt, right? Travis Jones was a breakout candidate. Haven't seen that yet, and then he got injured. Odafe Oweh was supposed to take the next step in his career, especially being in a contract year. Have not seen that yet. Tavius Robinson had been named as a breakout candidate also. Have not seen that yet. Roquan Smith was supposed to return to form and be partnered with Trenton Simpson, who should take the next leap in his career. Have not seen that yet. And then you got to add injuries to that. Malachi Starks was supposed to be the rangy, ball hawk type of free safety we needed. And he's a rookie, so I'm not banging on him at all. But we haven't seen that yet. And Jair Alexander, he was still supposed to be like that. And we haven't seen that yet either. So I think that Sunday can be kind of a milestone moment without Lamar Jackson in the lineup. Because if we can suit up and go get a win, or at least push this team to the brink, it will, I believe, say more about who we are than just winning on the back of Lamar Jackson. You see, because I think this is a moment where we'll be able to see what the future of the Baltimore Ravens really looks like. You see, when you got defensive linemen who you don't really know just yet, can they ball? Linebackers that you don't really know just yet, can they ball? Secondary players who we don't really know just yet, can they ball? Edge rushers, can anybody ball? Offensive linemen, can they step up? You see, that's what time it is. You see, I think, and I've said many, many times, many people have said it, that the Baltimore Ravens have lived and died on the back and performance of Lamar Jackson. And I think with him being removed, it creates an opportunity to really see if the Ravens are made of anything more than just Lamar Jackson heroics. Now, I'm not bigging up Lamar Jackson because he doesn't need me to. I'm removing him from this equation because of his injury, and I'm talking about, let's see. Let's see what the depth of the Baltimore Ravens can really do. Because we're deep into the depth at this point. Can Okoye step up with his 6'6", 370-pound frame and shut down some run? Can Mike Green get his first sack? Can Teddy Buchanan, as he's now cemented into the starting role, can he show that sideline-to-sideline speed and athleticism and coverage? Because we're going to need all of that. Will Jay Higgins get some snaps and be able to do some things? Can TJ Tampa, who may be starting this week, can he validate that, you know what, I am really like that? Can Cooper Rush keep this team on track? Now, this is not keys to victory. This is just my commentary about where the Ravens are. And can Derrick Henry, not being aided by the presence of Lamar Jackson, can he power this run game? And I'm calling out the Ravens for malpractice. Because if they don't put Keaton Mitchell in the game in some facet this week, when we need all weapons go, then they're more of a clown show than anything. And so I think this is a week where the Baltimore Ravens can start to get up off the ground and begin to not even just climb back out of the cellar of the league, but just stand and be a Raven. I'm your guy Boulanger, and I'm out.